100 years ago, there were 1.5 billion people on Earth. Now, over 6 billion crowd our fragile planet. But even so, there are still places barely touched by humanity. This series will take you to the last wildernesses and show you the planet and its wildlife as you have never seen them before. Most cats are solitaries, living and hunting by themselves. These are the cubs of a single mother, a cheetah. She has a heavy responsibility. Neither her sisters nor the cub's father help in bringing them up. Finding food for them and for herself is not easy. She moves off, and they follow. But they're likely to be more of a hindrance than a help. Impala are grazing nearby. They move away as she approaches, but they don't panic. Unless a cheetah is within 30 yards, they can outrun her. She knows that too, and doesn't want to waste her energy. She won't charge unless she gets really close. The cubs seem to realize that an attack is imminent and settle down to watch. Is she close enough? Beginning to drift away. She starts her sprint. Now she's running flat out. She's bounding so swiftly that her feet are off the ground for almost half the time. She's almost flying. The race is over. The slowest will not compete again. Cheetahs are the fastest thing on 4 legs. Their backbones are so supple that their hind legs can reach forward on either side of the front. She's so slim and agile, she can rival a gazelle in dodging and swerving. Until human beings devised weapons for themselves, this was the most powerful killer on Earth, the top predator. Few creatures could escape it, nothing could threaten it. But that has now changed. Hunting animals need hunting grounds, and that inevitably brings them in conflict with humanity. Once there were tigers all over Asia, from Sumatra and Bali in the south, India in the west, up to Siberia in the north. But sadly, over much of those areas, the tiger has disappeared. Big cats like the same sort of meat as human beings, as well as eating human beings. So it's scarcely surprising that the two don't coexist very easily. But once these magnificent meat eaters were the lords of the land. The ultimate in lethal grace and beauty. Somehow or other, perhaps on a floating log, they reached the island of Madagascar. Here there were neither predators nor competitors, and here they diversified into an extraordinary range of species which now exploit every environment on the island. They are the lemurs. Dideria is covered with ferocious spines, yet it's the chosen home and feeding grounds of another lemur, the cheetah. Clambering about here requires some very delicate footwork indeed. But when cheetahs decide to move, they can travel very fast indeed. Only in slow motion can you see just how accurately they land and how instantaneously they're able to take off again. But given the chance, they assess their jumps with care. Takeoff has to start sideways on to the line of flight, so they have to rotate their bodies in midair. Then those hind legs, having kicked off, have to be swung forward to act as shock absorbers as they make contact. Their back feet are long and narrow, with an enormous big toe, so that they can lock onto a trunk as soon as they hit it. Then, within seconds, they're off again. And a female can even do all this while she's carrying a baby. Down on the ground, however, the method doesn't work quite so well. Extremely long legs and very short arms make it impossible to run on all fours, so once again it has to be jumping. But with no vertical trunk to push away from, the leaps are rather shorter. trees, they can travel at speed again.